What's going on, guys? Car Review Guys here. My name is AJ, and today we are back with another vehicle this week. It is the 2024 Infiniti QX60. The trim level in specific is the Autograph all-wheel drive, which is the top dog, if you will. We're going to go through all of the different trim levels. We are going to start with a cinematic, then we are going to go to the exterior, talk about stats, figures, all the things I think you guys would want to know, and then we're going to jump into the interior, and then we're going to take it on a drive. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We're almost to 20,000 subscribers. Thank each and every one of you. Let's roll. Starting with some of the stats and figures, this QX60 has a 3.5 liter V6 pushing 295 horsepower, and it's producing 270 pound-feet of torque. Transmission comes in a 9-speed automatic. Curb weight's coming in around 4,657 pounds on this exact model, the Autograph, which is going to be pushing this QX60 in 0 to 60 in a very respectable 6.2 seconds. As you can see, right here is the fuel door on the driver's side. You're looking at 20 city, 25 highway, and a combined average of 22 mpgs. And your fuel tank size is 19.5 gallons. Now, touching on the dimensions while we are over here on this side, overall length, you're looking at right around 16.5 feet. And then coming around to the rear, your overall width, you're looking at about 6.5 feet. Now, of course, the one thing you guys always want to know is the pricing, which is super important. Now, pricing starts at around $49,650. That, of course, is for the base, which is the pure. Then it's going to go to the Luxe, then to the Sensory, and then to the Autograph, which is what you see here. And our tester today is $69,240. Let's do a quick exterior walk around on this. So of course you have all LED lighting. They're super bright at night, by the way. And of course you have LED runners. And then checking out the wheels, they are not small. So they are 255/50/20s. They're rated for a 105h, which makes sense for this size of SUV. Coming on around, looking at the mirror, you're going to notice there is a 360 camera on this QX60. You have keyless entry on the front and the rear, which is super nice to have. And then looking at the rear tire, you're looking at the same thing, a 255/50R20. Continuing on to the back here, you're going to notice pretty standard badging, if you will. You have the symbol, then it's obviously written out, and then it's all-wheel drive, and then QX60. And if you want to open the rear, you just simply press the little button just right of the camera. Press that, get a few chimes, and up it goes. Checking out the rear, you do have a good bit of space. Obviously not as much whenever the third row is in use, but if you would like to lay these down, simply just fold up on that little tab right there, push it down, and down it goes. Sorry for the lighting. Hopefully you can see that now a little bit better. That kind of gives you an idea as to what it would look like putting them all down. And if you would like to put this back up instead of using the strap, you just come right over here. You can see it says right seat. You simply push that button and it is automatically going to come up for you. Time to test whether it is easy to get in or not. I am 5'9". If you are new to this channel, let's test this thing out. So stepping in, not bad at all, actually. The one thing that I will note, and this is super nice, but this is part of what happens. So it is basically stadium seating in here so that way you can see out in front of you. And hopefully I'm going to try to put this exactly what I can see. So let's see, I can see just a little piece. I can see a little piece of the heads-up display, which now you can. So this is exactly what I see as to where I sit. Now, the repercussion to that is headspace, right? So when you get in, I'm 5'9". Obviously, I've got, I don't know, an inch and a half of headspace, something like that. Now, of course, you can recline your seat, right? You can come all the way back. You could be chilling. You have a ton of headspace, whatever. But it depends on how you sit. As far as legroom goes, there is a boat ton of legroom. I would say easily a foot, and that is where I drive. Actually, it slid back about an inch because I was trying to get some cinematics of the steering wheel. So with that said, you could actually move that forward about an inch. So very, very comfortable in the second row. Talking on some of the features, you have your own temperature controls back here and heated seats for the second row. And of course, you've got two cup holders right there. And just take a look at the interior. I absolutely love the design pattern. I call it diamond stitch, others call it quilted, whatever you want to call it. I love the pattern. Of course, being an Infiniti, we need to touch on materials because that is important based on price tag. So as far as this entire piece, it is all soft touch. Up here, soft touch. Down here, soft touch. Really premium materials, which is what I expect out of Infiniti, and you're definitely getting that. Not only that, we'll talk about it on the drive, but all of the extra sealing all the way around this door makes it for a very quiet ride, and it's super refined to some of its competitors. Everyone knows if you're a grown adult, trying to get into the third row really is not that fun, but you guys seem to love whenever you see me struggle trying to get into the rear. So let's step on back here. So just so you can see kind of what I'm working with here, that's about the width of my foot, so you got plenty of room to step. And then you're back here, like you're good to go. Now, it would help if I didn't just get jammed with a headrest right into my spine, but if we put that up, whew, now we're good. Now we're good to go. So back here, there's actually a little bit more headspace. I would say about 2 inches maybe. And then of course, if we put this back, there's legroom here as well, and they have a ton of legroom, so that could easily slide up some, and I would have even more back here. So even adults, even though it's not that fun to necessarily get back here, it's definitely practical. It's not like it's, you know, some sports car back seat or something. And while we're back here, you do have a charging port and 2 cup holders. I think it's time we test the front. Let's test this front seat here. Getting in. Super easy. I don't have any issues getting in the front for sure. Very easy. Natural height, even if you have back problems, leg problems, knee problems, whatever. I think you would find this vehicle being fairly easy to get into. Taking a quick look at the door, again, very premium feeling door, just like the rear. Obviously a few different buttons, which is what you would expect. You have power folding mirrors. The switches are nice. They have nice little bezels to them, make them feel more special. You guys know I like my bezels for window switches. And of course, memory seating, 2 settings, and also on the passenger seat as well. Now, taking a look right down at the seat, you're going to notice this little button right here. That is the massager. So it does have Both seats, the passenger and the driver, have massaging seats, which is very nice. If you have never tried a massaging seat, it sounds a little gimmicky, I'll be the first to admit. Once you try one, you're probably going to think a good bit differently, I'm not going to lie to you, because I love massaging seats, and it's great to have. Checking out in front of us, you do have heads-up display, and it is nice and big. I want to say it's like 10.8 inches. If I'm wrong, I'll just put text here, but I do believe it's 10.8 inches. Up above, you've got a very functional camera, right, for the rear view mirror, so you can flip it if you don't like it, totally up to you. And then up above, we have a panoramic sunroof. Looks really good. You're gonna notice this quilted stitching is all the way up on the dash. I think it looks really nice, makes it feel premium. And down here, we've got heated seats and cooled seats. You can see I do have my cooled seat on. You have a heated steering wheel, and you've got all of your different controls for media, which is nice if you would like to go through those versus going through the screen. And then right in front of us, you will notice it is all digital display. Super nice to have, and definitely with the times, if not almost in front of, because it is crystal clear and very high def. I'm gonna do my best, because of the lighting, to show you the camera here. Let me put it into reverse. This is what the camera looks like. Please remember, you're looking at a camera through a camera. Quality is never gonna look quite as good, but I will give them some credit. They've done a pretty good job with this camera system, and it is nice to have the 360 camera. Just below where all of the controls are, you do have a few charging ports down there, and of course a wireless phone charger. And for reference, I have a Ultra, and even the Ultra fits, and it does charge, as you can see. 2 cup holders, and you also have a nice toggle wheel to control the screen, which is nice, because then I may not want to reach all the way up there. I can just sit right here with my arm on the center console, and I can go through whatever I need. Now, speaking of center console, it is nice and soft, including everywhere around here. Now, this is not as soft, obviously. It's like kind of like a rubberized almost, which is kind of unique, and then it does pick up soft all along here. Now, press the button. It is going to pop up slowly, and looking down in there, you've got kind of like a shelf system almost, and then, I don't know, it's fairly deep. I would say probably 10 inches deep, somewhere in there. I think that is pretty much going to cover the interior. If there's anything I'm missing or anything you guys would like to know, comment down below. I will try to get back to every single person. If I don't know it, I will reach out to my Infiniti representative and get back to you once I have an answer. Let's get this out on the road. So as you go to put this seatbelt on, I don't know, I'm guessing it's a safety feature, but as soon as you put it on, it sucks in, and then you can like move it however you want. So I don't know if that's basically like measuring, like, so that way it doesn't like absolutely murder you, but it'll just pull tight enough to keep you in place. Not an engineer, haven't seen anywhere on the internet to 100% confirm that. I'm just guessing. So nonetheless, that is one thing that is kind of unique, that most people probably be like, why is this thing tightening on me? Calm down, it'll loosen back up. It just is, to me, I think it's like almost taking a measurement to know what is snug on you. With my short time so far with this QX60, like, my first impression is just how refined Infiniti as a brand is on these newer vehicles, right? Like, there is a stigma, and I've read the forums, I've read so many different things, so it's not me saying this necessarily, but there are so many people that think Infiniti is just outdated, like as far as tech and as far as features, and this is a vehicle changing that. It is refined, it is really a great vehicle. What tech does this not have, right? Like, I mean, I've got heated seats, cooled seats, massaging seats, like, I've got everything I would necessarily want, right? Like, we've got adaptive cruise control, we've got the Pro Pilot Assist, as they call it, which is like your lane centering. There's a ton of things on this, right? So it's just nice that Infiniti has really listened to its customers, and they're really making vehicles that are now leading and progressing the automotive industry, which is just great. And then not only that, as far as the tech side with how refined this thing's quiet, like ridiculously quiet. And I'll show you that once we get out on this main road, because I'll shut up, I'll let a few cars pass by, and we'll see if you can hear them. So let me get out on the road in just a second here. Okay, now that we're out here, here comes a truck. I'm gonna be quiet. So that was 2 vehicles going by. I guarantee there's no way you could hear that. I could barely hear it in here. So again, that is just goes to show you how quiet this vehicle is. Not only that, let's jump into the suspension as well. Suspension, super comfortable. Up here, there's a cattle guard that I generally go over with every vehicle because it's just a constant thing, right? Like, it's a baseline. I can compare pretty much any vehicle in this class over the same object. So, as soon as we get up here, let's see how it does. We're approaching it right now, and here we go. So my best description is, and it is good, right? Like, there's no vehicle that's going to be silent over that, for sure. This is definitely probably a top 5 vehicle that I've ever had over that cattle guard, as far as not only 1, suspension absorbing it, number 2, with just how quiet it is. That really says something as to what Infiniti as a brand you should expect. Let's check our blind spots. So over to our left, the pillar is probably pretty standard, very easy to see because it's right in a good spot where you can see out of the rear window. Checking over to our right shoulder, windows for days. So you shouldn't have any issues. If you do, it is equipped with blind spot monitoring if you need that kind of thing. Being honest, this would definitely be one of my personal top picks for a mid to large size SUV. It's so comfortable, it's easy to drive, it's relaxing. It really is, and that's what you want in a luxury SUV. That's what I would want in a luxury SUV. And the other thing to note is some performance, right? Like, we need to do passing power, so at 50 miles an hour, let's step on it. And 60. So it's got passing power, checks the box, right? Is it anything crazy fast? No, it's not supposed to be. Too many people compare apples to oranges. I do my best always in my reviews to compare apples to apples. Touching on suspension one more time off camera, I just took a little bit of a turn there. Unsurprisingly, it is a bigger SUV, and the suspension really is tuned for comfort. You guessed it. So yes, you're gonna have a little bit of body roll, and that's fully expected. I don't expect anything different. If you did, then I don't know why you would even be looking at this vehicle. Nonetheless, they've honestly balanced it really well, because for how big this vehicle is, and you know, weighing around the 47-ish 100 pounds, it's pretty good. You guys know that obviously I'm a fanatic of sports cars, exotic cars, supercar owner myself. The older I get, the more I love luxury vehicles. I just do. They're so comfortable. And this is one of them. This is one of those vehicles that I get in and I go, huh, should I trade in my Acura NSX for just something super luxurious like this? Because just having a massage while cruising, super quiet, you can have your music going. Also, by the way, Bose sound system in this sounds pretty good. I really don't put it on though. I'm just cruising. Like, it's just so quiet and comfortable. The all-wheel drive system grips really well. Like, if you're going around a turn and you just want to hit it and get it, you're going. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. The last thing I am going to cover is the different drive modes, because everyone always asks me. You have Eco, Auto, Sport, and Personal. I leave it in Auto However, in sport, is there a change? Yes, there is. Steering wheel stiffens up a little bit. Still body roll, obviously. Wouldn't expect anything different just because of physics. But yeah, so they definitely do change. They change throttle response, obviously, especially with Eco. All of them are programmed exactly how I would basically like them to be programmed. If there's anything I am missing, be sure to comment down below. I try to respond to every single person the best I can. If I do miss it, just comment a second time. I try to respond definitely within 7 days, but I would say my average is really almost same day. Almost to 20,000 subscribers. Thank each and every one of you. I really do mean it. It's pretty crazy that we're here. I never would have thought it even got to this, and we continue to grow thanks to you all. Please like, please subscribe, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.